one moment of pleasure might ruin your whole life.
Our definition of safe sex is no sex.
Hi, I'm AC Green. In the next few minutes, we're going to be talking about a subject that is familiar with all of you in one form or another. In today's society, it's a subject that's pretty hard to avoid, and I believe it's one of the most difficult challenges facing you young people today. The subject is sex. That's right, here we go, the S word, S-E-X. So pay close attention, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll know a lot more about sex and what can happen when you get involved before you should. With the help of some of my friends, we're going to talk about why you should look before you leap into bed with someone and how you can deal with the pressures I know you all must face. Now, even though the subject's a pretty serious one, we're also going to have a little fun with this as well. You'll hear from other professional athletes, we've got a slammer music video for you, and a whole lot of really important information. So kick back, check us out, we're coming right at you.
Oh, if you're not having sex, you're not going to be popular, you're not going to be wanted by all the men. You know, they're saying that only the cool people are having sex, and if you're not having sex, then you're an outcast. You have like a big mark on your forehead.
And sorry, if you have to follow everybody else and have sex, then who's the outcast?
Being a man, it doesn't have anything to do with how many girls you can get, who you sleep with.
I mean, peer pressure, this gonna be there. They gonna ask you, are you doing it or not? But just you gotta have willpower. If you're not gonna do it, just gotta leave them alone and find another group. If they're gonna pressure you doing something you don't wanna do, they're not really your friends.
You're risking your reputation, what people are gonna be thinking about you, you know? People are gonna be thinking, you know, well, if she's having sex, what kind of person is she, you know?
When people say everyone else is doing it, I think that's like a cop-out, because I think most people, when they say that, you know, they're like, you know, misery loves company. I think they want, you know, people to do it too, so they won't feel as bad, you know.
They think because everybody else is doing it, it's cool.
I'd say everyone else is doing it, but I'm not everyone.
Everybody's not doing it. Everyone pretends they're doing it or says they're doing it, but I have a feeling that a lot of people aren't.
Most of them aren't.
I'm doing it because so-and-so's doing it, or I'm doing it because they're doing it. Who cares about them? They have their own problems to deal with. What about you?
As you can see by what our kids have to say, it's not always all right to have sex. And in a lot of cases, it's all for the wrong reasons. And contrary to popular opinion, not everybody's doing it. There's a word that should go hand in hand with sex. The word is responsibility. Just like in everything else you do in life, you are responsible for your actions. And that's especially true when it comes to sex. Irresponsible sex is the primary reason we have so many sexually transmitted diseases and unwanted pregnancies. I'm here to tell you that responsible sexual behavior should include the love and commitment of marriage for two people who plan to spend a lifetime together, not just one night. Being young and healthy is one of God's most precious gifts. Don't let a poor decision rob you of the freedom to live your life to the fullest. These should be some of the best years of your life. So act responsibly, because it just ain't worth it.
What if I told you about something that everybody is supposed to be doing? It's supposed to feel real good and all, but there are some serious strings attached. Now, if you did it, you have a 50-50 chance of getting sick. And I mean real sick. Now, we're not talking about a little cold or a headache here. No. If you did it, it might even kill you. Would I take the risk? Yeah, right. And I hope you're smarter than that, too. What's this thing I'm talking about? It's sex. Yeah, that's right, sex. And did you know the odds of teenagers getting a disease like herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and worst of all, HIV and AIDS is around 50%? And on top of all of this, throw in the chance of getting pregnant and you've got yourself some pretty lousy odds. Oh, and don't think that condoms are the answer, because condoms fail about 36% of the time in preventing pregnancy among young people. Again, some lousy odds. Now take out a coin, flip it in the air. Heads, you don't catch a disease or get pregnant. Tails, you do. If you were lucky this time, you may not be the next, because tails is gonna come up sooner or later. When I make a bet that could cost me my life, I want better odds. Don't you?
This is Dave Robinson, the San Antonio Spurs. Before you make a mistake, wait and think. AIDS, pregnancy, pain, and death. Take it from a friend who cares. Try abstinence, because it just ain't worth it.
Safe sex to me means being responsible about who you're with and using a contraceptive.
Use a rubber.
Even if you do use a condom, it's not really safe sex.
Everything is risk. You get a disease, you could get pregnant.
Wear a rubber or two.
There is no safe sex. Condoms are like nothing.
If you think that's safe sex, then that's saying you're not gonna get shot when you're playing Russian roulette. You just never know.
They're saying safe sex, and yet advertisements, you know, they're showing very explicit advertisements, and they're just saying, look, all these beautiful people, all these handsome macho men, they're all having sex. Why don't you have sex too?
Yeah, I'd like to see them in 20 years when they're all sores, big old things bulging off their face because they're dying of AIDS. That's really sexy.
One moment of pleasure might ruin your whole life.
Our definition of safe sex is no sex.
Hello, my name is Dr. Douglas Eaton, and we're going to talk a little bit about sexually transmitted diseases. Currently, 1 in 5 Americans between the ages of 15 and 55 have a sexually transmitted disease. But 2/3 of the new infections occur in those who are under the age of 25.
Okay, I know everybody out there is not a statistician or a mathematician, so let me just give you this illustration, okay? Let's say you were gonna go buy an airplane ticket for 5 of your friends, each to a different destination, and told you one of them is gonna crash. Would you go?
Condoms fail to prevent pregnancy approximately 15% per year among adults, but this rate increases significantly for teenagers. Additionally, condoms can't possibly help to stop some sexually transmitted diseases that can spread from contact outside of the vagina and penis, such as syphilis, herpes, crabs, pubic lice, and human papillomavirus.
Okay, let me break it down and make it plain. Come here. That means condoms were never designed to prevent you from getting anything.
The HIV virus is 25 times smaller than sperm. Recent studies done on latex gloves show that holes can go all the way through the glove, 5 microns in size. Now, this is not very big, but those holes are 50 times bigger than the virus. Latex is the stuff that the best condoms are made from. The gloves they studied, though, are thicker than condoms and undergo no force, heat, friction, or deterioration, as has been applied to the condoms.
Okay, let me give you an illustration. Everybody hold up your hand like this. Everybody, come on now. All right, now hold up your finger on this hand. Now let me ask this question, and you answer it for me. Can a virus this big get through a hole this big? I think so.
The only safe sex is waiting until you're married.
Safe sex, I mean, I think that people try to say it's safe, but really it's like, it's safer, I guess, if you had to do it, but it's not safe at all.
No one wants to believe that. They don't think that it's going to happen to the most popular people in school. They just think that it's going to happen to the homosexuals and the hypes, and it can happen to anyone.
You know, even after everything is all said and done, some of you may still choose to go out and practice what they call safe sex. But you know what? You might escape one of the 42 sexually transmitted diseases. You might escape getting pregnant, but there is no condom that is big enough or strong enough to protect you from a broken heart or a shattered dream.
Hi, I'm Barry Sanders of the Detroit Lions. I want to give you a serious message about safe sex. There isn't any such thing. Save yourself from a lot of heartache, pain, and even death, because really, it just ain't worth it.
One of my main fears of getting involved sexually is pregnancy. I think that would really ruin the rest of my life. I want to go to a good college, and I have a lot of dreams and goals, and being involved like that would keep me from doing those things.
You can end up with all these bills, having to pay, I gotta pay the doctor's bill for my baby. I gotta pay child support. I gotta pay for feeding the baby, for clothing the baby, all these things. I'm young, and I don't want to have to find out all that stuff unless I have a wife with me to help me keep me sane. You'd go nuts, I think. I know a bunch of guys who've gone nuts.
One night stands, right? I had news for you. I'm a one night stand. I was never meant to be, but I'm here.
You think condoms work? My parents were married for about a month, maybe 2 months. I was unplanned. I snuck through a hole. So it can happen. It happens to everyone.
So you know what this is? A one night stand and a failed condom. Think about it.
And if someone is that irresponsible to have sex, how do you know they're telling you the truth, that they've never been with anybody else or that they don't have AIDS? Because there's a lot of people out there that have AIDS and they don't even care they have it, you know? They go out and have sex with anyone anyways.
Do you want to end up with AIDS 5 years down the line? You're 22 years old and you're dying of AIDS. You got sores and blisters all over your body. You're in the bed. You're having people change you every day. You can't even move. I think I'd rather have fun. Just wait until I get married.
Don't fool yourself. It ain't worth it.
I really believed that the first man I had sex with would have been the last man, because I loved him and I thought he was wonderful and he loved me, and we've been going out a long time before we even had sex. I thought, oh, he couldn't just be with me, you know, because of sex. But it turned out that that wasn't the case either, that he was not my last. And I remember shortly after we started to have sex, I was reading a fashion magazine, and there was this article on women and their sexuality. And that article talked about how the earlier a woman starts having sex, the more lovers she'll have. And when I read that, I was devastated because I thought, that can't be me. I've only been with one man. I love him. He loved me, but within a year and a half, you know, I was with another guy. And after that, it was as if what I had, because I'd already given away my virginity, I didn't even think that it mattered anymore. And what I really wish that someone had told me, and what I would tell any girl, is just because you're not a virgin anymore doesn't mean that your sex isn't important. It doesn't mean that your body isn't worthy or valuable. Just because you've had sex once or twice or 100 times or 1,000,000 times doesn't mean you can't stop. You can always stop.
How can I show my wife, the woman that will be my wife, how can I show her that she's unique, that I've placed her above all other women? See, because I got a sister and I got mom, you know, and I tell them that I love them, and I hug and kiss on my sister and cousins. So I realized that the only way that I could demonstrate to my wife her uniqueness was to save my sexuality. What is people call second-generation virginity. That I choose to abstain. That I am saving myself for my wife. So that on that wedding day, I can look in the face and say, honey, I'm giving you something nobody else did.
I think one thing I really want to tell the girls and guys out there is that you have the choice to be the example. Because it was because somebody told me that I didn't have to do it that I stopped. And you can be that person that makes the difference. You can be the person that stands up in your crowd and says that you're not doing it, and you're not having sex, and you're not giving yourself away, and you can be the example that prevents your friends from going down that same alley or hurting themselves in the way that I was hurt.
Now that you've heard about some of the things that can happen when you get sexually involved, I want to give you a simple solution to a very complicated challenge. The solution is abstinence. That means not getting sexually involved until the time is right. Now, old as it might sound, the right time is marriage. I know you might be dealing with a lot of pressure from your friends to have sex, and you might even be saying, hey, everybody else is doing it, but you're wrong. Not everybody is doing it. Many young people just like you are saying no to sex. There are simply too many risks, and they know it just ain't worth it.
I think that the only safe sex is definitely abstinence. That's the only thing.
I still have the desires, you know, it's like, we all have those, you know, it's just self-control is the main thing, you know.
Abstinence being taught in the schools, it isn't. I mean, right now they want to be issuing out condoms, and is there a point to that? I mean, what they're saying is they're gonna do it anyway. That's stereotyping all teenagers. That's like saying, well, he's black, he's gonna go steal a car. He's Mexican, he's gonna go rape this woman, and he's white, he can't dance.
They're saying that everyone's having sex, we might as well give them the condoms. But there are kids at the high school that aren't having sex and that don't know if having sex is right. And here they are, they're saying, oh, here's the condom. That's giving them permission to go and have sex. They don't, and some of those kids, they don't know, that sex should be waited or saved till marriage. And it's just, I think it's giving the wrong answers.
Abstinence for me.
I've got two best friends who are pregnant, and they always tell me, you feel like the oddball. And I tell them, no, I feel like the smart one.
Real safe sex is not to have sex at all.
Abstinence. If I can do it, you can too.
You hear a lot today about practicing safe sex. But if there was such a thing as safe sex, then why are so many young people paying such a high price? The numbers of unwanted pregnancies, abortion, sexually transmitted diseases, including the HIV virus, are increasing dramatically each and every year. Instead of playing Russian roulette with your life, isn't it about time you try something new? The only true form of safe sex, the only 100% guaranteed way that you will not get a sexually transmitted disease or an unwanted pregnancy is to abstain from sex until the point that you get married.
He's so beautiful. And he's such a good baby, too. He hardly ever cries. Although sometimes I wish he would. You see, we had it all planned out. Big wedding, lots of friends and family, romantic vacation in Jamaica. We wanted to have a big family, a regular Brady Bunch. He's our first. We were so excited. We couldn't wait to teach him how to walk and talk, get him his first bicycle. It was so perfect. And then he started to get sick, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong. God, when we found out our baby had AIDS, I felt like I had already died. John and I still love each other, and we'll stick together no matter what. There's no finger pointing or accusations or anything like that. We both were just careless with sex before we were married. I wish we would have waited. It could have been so perfect.
I'm 15 years old and I'm adopted. And my biological mother was 17 years old and 7 months pregnant. That could surprise some people that abortion is legal throughout the whole 9 months of pregnancy. But I was aborted in the 7th month, and I was delivered in an abortion clinic, and I was transferred to a hospital, weighing 2 pounds, and was placed in an incubator, and I stayed there for several months. The doctors were trying to keep me alive, and then I was placed in a foster home, and that's where I was diagnosed with cerebral palsy as a result of my biological mother's saline abortion. Now, a saline abortion is a saline salt solution that is injected into the mother's womb. The baby gulps that solution, it burns the baby inside and out, and she delivers a dead baby within 24 hours. And that's exactly what happened with me, but I came out alive instead of dead.
Believe me, when you have casual sex, which results in an unplanned pregnancy, the pain and regrets are sure to be there. Babies demand a lot of care and attention. It requires the love and commitment of 2 special people who have made a responsible decision to bring a new life into this world. It's a decision that shouldn't be taken lightly and should be reserved for people who have prepared themselves for that day. And that day includes waiting until you get married. So what I'm saying is this: it's great to have children. Just make sure you're old enough, mature enough, and prepared enough for one of life's great miracles. Wait until you're married, and don't go out there and get married too soon either.
Hi, I'm Darryl Green of the Washington Redskins. Hey, y'all, let me tell you the real truth about abstinence. It's the only safe sex that works. So if you're real smart and you want to live, try it, because it just ain't working.
Hi, Dave Johnson here from the U.S. Olympic team.
Before you make that mistake, stop and think. Pregnancy, pain, AIDS, and death, okay? Try abstinence, because it just ain't worth it.
We're Idle King declaring a state of emergency, rapping with the message with a serious urgency. Making it plain, my brother, with no nonsense, cause the only safe sex is abstinence. Hey, so don't believe the hype. The message is plain, if you wanna live long, you gotta abstain. Hey, see ya.
Now, some people who hear about sex education programs and information that promote abstinence like to call these programs fear-based. In reality, another four-letter word description is more accurate: fact-based. But let's break things down a little bit before we start and when we finish. HIV is the initials of the virus that causes AIDS. STDs, sexually transmitted diseases like gonorrhea, syphilis, AIDS, herpes, hepatitis B, human papillomavirus, and many more. Teenage young women are especially vulnerable to sexually transmitted diseases because the lining of their cervix doesn't have a thick enough protective coat, like the hormones that an older woman would provide her. One recent study showed human papillomavirus to be as common as 46% of the young ladies attending the University of California, Berkeley. That's just about every other girl, gentlemen. Now, this virus causes cervical cancer, genital warts, or cancer of the penis. A couple of years ago, human papillomavirus killed more women every year through cervical cancer than AIDS. Now, suppose we found a drug that could cure someone once they had AIDS. Do you think we would be able to eliminate it? Well, think about this. Syphilis has been 100% curable for over 40 years, yet currently it's at an all-time high. You have to have a change in behavior. I believe you're intelligent, and armed with the facts, you can make your own choices.
You have a lot of choices that you have to make as a young person. And many people will lead others to believe that you're gonna die if you don't have sex. But you know what? I've yet to see an obituary that says Johnny, 17, dies because of virginity. But you know what? Abstinence is a choice for life.
If I could say something to people that would get into your heads, I ask that you would listen to this and say, be yourself. And if everyone says everyone's doing it, and everyone's not doing it, I think it's a lot of talk.
You don't have to listen to what your friends say or anybody else. If you want to wait, then that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's enough good role models in this world to let us know that it's okay to not have sex. It's okay to not feel pressure and to do your own thing, not so much of just because someone else is doing it, you have to do it too.
Sit her down, tell her that I bumped into a friend who told me the honest truth. You know, for so long I was confused. I always thought that, you know, a condom was gonna protect me and that was gonna protect her, but I'm gonna tell her that my true feelings for her are deeper than just one night of sex. So, you know, we're gonna hold, if we are good friends and end up being lifetime partners, well then we're gonna hold off on sex till we get married.
If I can give one message to all the kids out there my age, and I just want to let them know that there are other people out here who aren't having sex right now. And, I mean, you want to go out and have sex because everyone else is having sex? Where is your individuality? Where is your spirit? Where is your person? Don't be like everyone else. You're not them. We're not Barbie doll clones. We're individual people.
A lot of kids they're curious, they think they're in love, you know, they're based on a feeling they want to have sex. It's worth the wait.
Wait till you get married.
As I told you earlier, there are more and more young people who are making a pledge to abstain from sex. You know, it's the only true form of safe sex, and it will guarantee you'll get through this great time of your life without all those downers that can come from having sex too soon. I hope you too will make that important pledge. Even if you've already been sexually active, it's never too late to make a new start. My promise to you is if you make the pledge to abstain from sex until you're married, you'll be making the absolute right choice. Believe me, I know exactly what I'm talking about because abstinence has been the only way for me. If I can do it, so can you. Make the right choice.
Man, will you just play the game?
up, baby girl? You got more back than the Raiders. What's up with that?
You're so silly.
Get with that.
You know, that guy would be pretty good if he didn't think he was God's gift to women.
You know, guys like that never win because they're always thinking with the wrong part of their body.
Game. Next.
So many men, so little time. Girl, I know what you mean. Oh, and look at the muscles on them. Gorgeous.
Oh, I want that one right there. And I'm gonna get him.
Come on, girl, let's go.
I wonder where AC is.
Go, Barry.
Come on, man, we got next game.
Hey, cheese. Look at that. I like that. Yeah.
You better leave that alone, man. You got enough to worry about right now.
I ain't know that, man. Come on, man.
Concentrate on that.
Man, you better leave that alone.
Oh, come on, man. What you gonna do? You gonna play ball? What you gonna do? Chase women?
Man, I'm through. I'm down with the honeys. Game over. I'm through.
Hey, man, what's the score?
Yo, man, that's game.
Come out of here, man.
I drop this little lecture on safe sex. Nothing but a joke by the government's latex. Cause there's no safe sex except abstinence. Unless you're married, then you better stay committed. Will it? That's the method I speak will protect you, bless and direct you. Of course it will help you. As we stop this epidemic, the former techniques, so we check the stats in the clinic.
Bennett, I wanna win it. Then it, I wanna crush it. Cause this safe sex talk, you can't trust it. Me and mine, him and his, yo, are educated. Yours and your info needs updates. We spectated long enough, we can't sit back. Get that Jimmy hat way back in back.
Get a grip real quick, gon' be a nitwit and end up trick, big plate, late and discard.
No. It just ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. It just ain't worth
it. Wait, before you make a mistake, take a break and pause. Because the fate you're about to steal is yours. The result of your animalistic behavior might lead to a greater or check till later. Upward pregnancy is the same old scenario. Thinking about time and I know I don't think so. The guy you say you love real dear and you care for might now want you now. So what you gonna do with a baby? Maybe try to abortion? That is not the next thing. I might don't guilt you for the rest of your day. You hurt thinking about the baby that could have been you murdered him because you were serving sin and now your heart is searching.
Realize we're in a state of emergency, so we must protect with urgency. The human race is headed for a downfall, and the victims are us all, y'all. The lack of knowledge just makes you be nervous. A song like this does a public a service, so we came here just for this purpose, y'all. Hey, come on, y'all.
It just ain't worth it.
It just ain't
What you mean it ain't worth it? Look, let me be the judge of that, girl. I got a condom over here. We can get busy, you know what I'm saying? I can make it worth your while.
A condom? Are you crazy? A condom make a fast break and it is all over. That's like playing Russian roulette with 4 bullets inside one. You better get out of here with that.
We're out of opinion, we have come to the conclusion. The condom usage is a great big illusion. Because according to, you know what the statistics say, 36% of the time they fell in an annual rate. Pelvic inflammatory cases prove it's not a story. Herpes, gonorrhea, crab. To be itching your friends will laugh. Jimmy erected, TD expected. Check this, while you were naked, the person you slept with was very infected. Transmitted disease was moving in like fleas, and now you detect it. 6 months later, test results discover you have AIDS. You don't know what's loving. Left around so long, it's a habit. HIV positive all because of a 6-second orgasm. Promiscuous with the gifts can get you syphilis.
Can I